Hello everybody. I'm quite excited because I've just got a new deck of tarot cards. Now I ordered these yesterday off Amazon and they're here already. Um, they're by Kim Kranz, who is the person who'd made the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Did I say that the right way around? The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And these are the cards that I use quite often in my readings with animals on. And just show you the cards that I use so you may recognize them from my other readings. I really like these cards. I use my intuition quite a lot with them. Um, yeah, they're just really nice cards. It's one of my favorite decks. So I know that she has a tarot deck out as well that I'm also interested in getting. Which is the tarot cards like the Emperor and the Fool. So I've got my eye on that. But I was quite excited because I didn't know about this deck, and I was watching a reading by another tarot card reader called she's called Cindy. She's another Cindy, but her channel is called Awakening to Spirit. So I will link that in the description, and you can go and check that out. She was saying that she also didn't know about this deck, and she'd ordered it as well, so she's going to start using this deck as well. So yeah, I was excited about it and I ordered it and it's here, woohoo! So I thought I'd do an unboxing video and share my excitement with you because I love getting new decks and looking through them. It's a little Christmas present to myself, a little gift to myself. So this is quite a big box. I mean, like you can see, it's the size of my hand. It's a huge box. I don't really know what to expect actually. I've not really seen anyone using these cards before. How can I? Haha. So it comes in this really nice box. It's quite good quality. Ooh, accept all, reject none. Okay. So it comes with this guidebook, which we can have a quick flick through in a little while, but I kind of want to look at the cards first. Very nice artwork. Here we go, archetypes. Wow, they're huge. I was not expecting them to be this big. Oh, it's another box. It's a box inside a box. It's the Russian doll of tarot. It also has this diamond on it as well. Ooh, I'm very excited. Put that there like that. Oh look, I'm so professional now. Look at me. I'm like how many days is it? 1 week doing YouTube and I'm already doing unboxing videos. I've got everything set up. This is what lockdown does to people. It just throwing people in at the deep end with things. Right, so it's quite stiff to open. Oh, there we go. Oh, more diamonds. Curiouser and curiouser. I like these little tabs. A lot of tarot decks have these little tabs to get the cards out, which is good. It's handy to have. Do you know, it was an expensive deck. I think it was around £20, but it's very nice quality. You know, if you want to treat yourself, it's a nice thing to have. So yeah, they're quite big. I'm gonna have a challenge shuffling these, I think, at first. Let's see. I like that they're round. I don't have any other round decks. This is my first round deck. So the first card that I'm seeing is the Mother. It's got this pearl in the middle. Stones. Oh, there's a hand as well. A hand there. So it looks like it's in a nest. So immediately I'm getting nest egg, mother of pearl. It's a snake, isn't it, as well? This snake protecting. It's almost like the pearl and the rocks are this person's eggs. It reminds me actually of this card, which is the Cosmic Egg card, which is always a snake protecting something really special, like a gift from the universe. I get from the Animal Unknown deck. And another card that came out in a reading today. See if I can quickly shuffle through and find it. The oyster as well, it sort of gives me oyster energy because it has the pearl inside. Let's see. Aha, and this snake Another one protecting something from the universe. That it sort of gives me the energy of all three of these cards. So I'll be interested to see what it actually says in the guidebook about this. Sorry, my neighbours are chatty again. Very sociable neighbours. I'm not sociable. I'm just like, oh no, I'm going to hide in my house. Don't talk to me. No, they're lovely. They're really nice, nice neighbours. So the mother. We begin our archetypal story with the mother's love. Oh, through her sensual, fertile, and life-giving energy, all creation takes form. Regardless of our birth story, each of our hearts beat for the first time in the warm womb of the mother. The mother. That's making me think of The Sims again. It's I don't want to sort of spoil the story, but if you look at the Strangerville pack, the mother is perhaps not very nurturing, especially on where are we? Where she offered resources from her body for the building of our own. Yet her tale is not so simple, as the mother, especially on the earthly plane, contains both light and dark aspects of the feminine. With the best of intentions, the mother wraps her loving arms around her creations and begins to grip what she meant to set free. The mother both nurtures and prohibits growth. She gives, yet clings. She creates, yet restricts. Amid this complex energy, the mother holds the key to the eternal challenge of love. That's really interesting. When light, glowing, generative, creative, nurturing. When dark, dim, exhausted, controlling, limiting. Go deeper. Read Tao Te Ching, Chapter 1, and imagine the mother of 10,000 things. What are all these notes around the edges as well? I'm going to have a bit of trouble showing you this, I think. Notice how the mother archetype is expressed in nature. This is perhaps the most balanced and benevolent form of the mother's grace. And the mother is part of the trifecta maiden-mother crone because of the relationship between them. Take special note when these cards appear in one reading. So this deck seems like it's going to be really useful in working out who's who in a reading. So if I'm picking up on energy in a reading and I need to clarify which character is displaying that energy, you know, I might be able to pull these archetype cards, sort of character cards. Okay, I'm going to have a go at shuffling them. I'm going to try and do it on camera because this is going to be funny, I think. They're all, because it's a new deck, they're all stuck together. It's quite hard to shuffle. Oh, there, we've got one. The Eternal Child. Oh, this is like Forever Young. I don't want to sing because I'm told that you shouldn't sing on YouTube. Get copyright warnings. I don't think I've got, my channel's big enough to get any copyright warnings yet. I don't think anyone will care if I sing, but yeah. So that's giving me for Forever Young energy. The Eternal Child. It's like they've got this sun inside their stomach. So what I'm getting from that is that children can be very, very brave. They're sort of very fiery about what they believe in. And with all these rainbow colours here as well, being radiated out from this stomach energy. It's like the stomach chakras, the courage to express yourself, to be creative, to show your colours to the world. That kind of innocence of a child. These hands underneath though are quite dark coloured. The underside, the bottom half of the card, sorry, just try to focus, is not as confident as the top half of the card. That's what I'm getting from that. Let's have a quick scan of the book and see what the book says. I do interpret images and cards sometimes based on just what comes to me, what pops into my head, because I think that's your intuition at work and you should work with that. So I don't always read the guidebooks straight away. What I tend to do is over time I might occasionally read out of the book, and that gives me depth to the meaning of each card. Yeah, there's no right and wrong way to interpret tarot. You should always just trust your intuition and what you're getting from the card at that time. The eternal child, the inner child, the child of joy. Oh, the eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with the physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The eternal child wants to mix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free. I've got something to say about that in a minute. Where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The eternal child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible and what is magical about this precious life. So that's really lovely. I like that card. What I wanted to say was last night I sort of got a load of information. I was lighting a joss stick, and I tried to light it once with the match. I tried to light the match twice. It didn't work. The third time it almost exploded. It was like a firework or a sparkler. That's the intensity that this match finally lit on the third try. So if you watch my Pisces reading, and I had that courthouse card, I was saying this may be your third attempt, and the third attempt will be successful. That's where I got that message from. It was all from that spark of that match. So I got fireworks, and I was thinking, what does fireworks mean? And I got 4th of July. So fireworks on 4th of July, and barbecues I was getting, and this third attempt, so something to do with courthouses and a third attempt. I can't even remember what made me start talking about this now. Something on the card, the land of the free, because through quite a few of my readings this week, I've had the Justice card come out, and she's come out 3 times in my readings. And then I was watching someone else's reading, and she got the Justice card 3 times. It was probably the other Cindy, actually. I can't remember specifically which video. And it's funny, it's this Justice 3 times. So yeah, I've got this. The third time will be successful, the third attempt. And also I was getting the sort of Statue of Liberty, and what's that? What's the? I can't remember the line now. It was something in the Constitution, because I was getting mice. I saw an image of mice, and the song "All the Small Things" from Blink 182, which led me to. It's something like freedom and liberty for all. That's what I ended up on. Freedom and liberty for all. So I feel like with everything that's been happening in the world, especially in America recently, I know that there's been 2 court cases actually that have passed recently in America. One was to do with LGBTQ plus community, and whether or not employers are allowed to discriminate on people based on their sexuality, and the court ruled that you're not allowed to discriminate against people. Employers aren't allowed to discriminate, which is brilliant that they ruled in that way. And there was another court case as well, but I can't remember what that one was. But I feel like there's going to be a third court case. And all this energy that people are feeling, which is very positive energy of changing things, of making everything better, I feel like it's going to come to a peak on the 4th of July, which is all about independence and freedom. And it's going to raise the vibration of the energy of the world. Basically, it's going to make a big spike in positive energy in the world. It's just, sorry, waffling on, but it was a message I got last night, and I was quite excited about it. I just was looking for an opportunity to share it, and that was the opportunity. But it's this kind of child within us that, doesn't judge people, accepts people for what they are. Lovely innocent energy that I think we should all go back to. Again, we've got a new card. This is the Riddle. This is a bit spooky. It gives me spooky energy. It looks like it's got an eye in the middle. Is this a Celtic knot? Is that what that's called? Got a hand coming in here, a hand coming in here, 2 hands clasping here. So maybe this is to do with joining. Perhaps, sometimes when people get married, I think in older cultures or certain cultures, they tie people together, tie the wrists together with a Is it a red thread? Let's find out what the riddle means. So what's that, 53? I know Roman numerals. Didn't study classics for nothing. I can do numbers. The riddle. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found. It's like, stop worrying about all these messages, Cinderella, just let it happen. And ultimately, it is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from the logic to the mythic. You are thinking too small with the mice that I was seeing, and literally about a situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom of a Zen koan. I'll show you that word there. Zen koan. Focusing harder won't do it, neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, and humour are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you will learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. It may, in fact, be the only reality there is. That's interesting. When light, a great awakening or an aha moment. I felt like I had an aha moment last night when I lit that match on the third attempt, and it made me jump. It sparks that much. It really was like holding a sparkler in my hands, and I instantly got the word firework. And I got all that information all suddenly, like a huge influx of all this information. That's what it felt like. It was an aha moment. It's funny that card should come out, and especially what was that line it said? Sorry, I'm going to go back to the book. I should have kept the page open. What was it? Time, surrender, and humour are your only allies. And we had that card with the inner child and all the rainbow colours. So I feel like if you ever are feeling quite dark, quite frustrated, and perhaps you're getting a bit bogged down with the details of life, just try and tap into that inner child and find the humour in the situation. I feel like that's what I was trying to say. What's this card? Oh, the mentor. Yeah, because you've got this owl bringing in the wisdom of the universe there. I'm not going to keep looking at the book, but we'll have a quick flick through and have a look at some more of the cards, because it's quite fun to do that. I always do this as well. I know some people, like my daughter, when I get a new pack of cards, she wants to go through and she wants to look at each card one by one and have a look at the images. I like to keep an element of surprise for a longer period of time. So I will shuffle the deck and maybe take out about 10 cards and have a look at those cards and see what my first impression of them. And then I sort of get to know the cards over time when I keep doing more and more readings. So we're not going to look at all the cards today. It's just kind of a first look, first impression. So we'll get to know the deck a little bit more together. I'll start to use them perhaps next week, in next week's readings. And we'll learn a bit more about them together. That'll be nice. The Judge. Sorry, I'm just having trouble picking this card up. The Judge. This is interesting. It's almost like blocking with the hand here and receiving with the hand here. So it's like, what's the decision going to be? Is it going to be no? Is it going to be yes, you're going to receive something? Here there's a little skull, creepy little skull, and is this an eye? This looks like a lizard eye. It's almost like yin yang as well, isn't it, with the white and the black. And maybe the eye is like the all-seeing eye, the eye of judgment, perhaps. Okay, and also we got, oh, this is interesting, the shapeshifter. Wow. Immediately I'm looking at this panda, because I think in one of my readings this week, it may have been my tarot origin story. I was talking about how I had this visual image of a drawn panda. I didn't know if that was going to be relevant to anyone, but this is a panda and a tiger. This animal's shifting its shape, and it has this jewel, which I think is symbolising the chakra, the third eye chakra. This looks like an eye, or almost like a beetle or something as well. These gems, this like scaly background. I'm also noticing all the colours of that background as well, changing colours like a chameleon. So maybe that's about someone who can adapt to different situations, different scenarios. Okay, let's get a few more cards. I'm at the 20-minute mark, so I'll do a couple more cards and then I'll wrap it up. I've also got dinner. My dinner's ready. So here we go. Oh, the sword. Again, it's this light and dark, this yin-yang duality on either side of the sword. I sort of get that swords can be used for good or for bad. So a sword can be used like the sword of justice, to bring clarity and truth. A sword can be used to knight people, to recognise them and reward them, or a sword can be used to cut out things from your life that don't serve you anymore. But swords can obviously be used to cause harm, to oppress people. That's what I'm getting from that. This is an interesting inverse here with the sun and kind of the void of the sun, and then the moon's here in the centre with this lightning. Yeah, you've got the shadow side with all the dark colours and the creative side with all the bright colours up there. There we go. I think maybe 2 more cards, one for this spot, one for this spot. Let's see what else we get. The vow. So immediately that makes me think of weddings, wedding vows. Yeah, it looks like 2 hands clasped together in marriage, and then perhaps the priest's hands clasping those 2 hands, like pressing them together. So that actually gives me a sense of being trapped. Obviously marriage can be beautiful, you know, the union of 2 people, but I think it has that duality of maybe feeling a bit trapped, a bit shackled almost. He is really, you know, gripping those hands, which I don't get good energy off that. And yeah, we have this bird as well, which symbolises freedom. On a more positive note, you can say that sometimes when people come together, it gives you know, the wind beneath your wings. It gives you the support to fly. So it's sort of about a good or a bad relationship. How many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 dots, so that could be like the 9 of Pentacles, which is a single person, and then this big circle in the middle is like the 10th pentacle of these 2 people coming together. The vow, that could be an engagement ring, wedding ring. Okay, one last card. Yeah, I'm very happy with this deck so far. I'm definitely looking forward to using it more and seeing what I get from it in readings. You know, the cards, the good quality, you can see how, like, that noise it makes. They're good thick cards, but they are still flexible. They're not like really stiff. So they're nice, and I can shuffle them actually. They're loosening up now that I'm starting to get a bit of energy into them, and they've not been stuck in a box for so long. They are actually, I'll just show you what I'm doing with them. They are actually, you know, coming a bit looser. They're getting a bit more talkative. There we go. So the last card that I got from that last shuffle was the Forest. This almost makes me think of a forest fire. You know, if you see the images of forest fires at night when the trees are all dark and it's all lit up behind, which is almost like a huge energy. That can also, forest fires can be quite part of nature where, you know, it clears out the canopy of all the dead, old, overgrown trees that are blocking the light, and it clears that out and it allows the young saplings that are down on the forest floor to get a bit of sunlight so that they can grow and eventually become big and tall and strong like these other trees. It's also giving me sort of like universe energy, creative energy, aurora energy, you know, that kind of the mixing of different elements of life. Really interesting. It's a very, excuse me, it's a card of nature. It really does make me think of like the power of nature. And what's this at the bottom here? It's like this little portal, a little cave. So maybe, you know, This might be for people who find a lot of peace and seclusion when they go for walks in the woods. It allows them to connect to spirit, to whatever that may be for you, to nature, to the universe. Maybe people like to go out for walks in the wood at night and then look up at the stars. It's almost like these little birds. They're like little holes in the colour, but they could be birds. So maybe people like going out and listening to the bird song. Yeah, I like the Roman numerals. It's good practice for me. So what I was going to say about this pack is that I like how it's sort of, I like this, it's almost like magazine cutouts, like images. What's it called? A mosaic. Like at school when you make a mosaic out of images cut from magazines. I like that style. And it's actually the style that I did years and years ago. When I was doing an art project where I created tarot cards. Yeah, so I did the same kind of thing. I cut out images of magazines and created my own tarot cards. They're looking a bit ragged now. They're very old. And there's a panda. Look, another panda. Told you the pandas are stalking me. It's absolutely. It was the peacocks and now it's the pandas. Yeah, I like that card. So I was thinking about possibly doing this again, just with me having a lot of time on my hands at the moment with not working, I'm furloughed and having the kids at home. I thought maybe I might make my own pack again in this kind of style. That'd be interesting to do. Yeah, anyway. That will take me years because I'm not the most productive person. I do tend to get distracted and wander off, start projects and wander off. That's because I've got a Gemini moon, so blaming that on Gemini energy. But yeah, I'm really happy with this pack. I'll definitely use it a lot. Definitely happy with the price I paid for it. It was a bit expensive, but it's a nice treat for myself. So yeah, if you want to get this pack, it's the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck and pack guidebook by Kim Kranz. It was really easy to find on Amazon. I just typed in Kim Kranz and there it was. So yeah, okay, take care, bye.